back to Urban Sprawl. Today we've got quite a big project. The council has had lots of positive feedback about the rail car being installed, that they have decided to up the ante and put a subway in. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be putting a subway in under the ground from one end of the city to the other. This is really gonna mess with the villagers. The villagers are already being shuffled around if they get in a cart and are deposited somewhere else. So this is really going to be playing with the villagers and where their beds are and whatnot. I've decided that this main street is going to be the basis for our subway. Get out the way. We are going to dig a subway under this main street from all the way out that side of the city to all the way over that side of the city. And this is going to be a big job because digging underground, you're going to come into cave networks and oogly booglies. But one of the good things about it is a straight line. It is going to be a straight line from here all the way through the city to over near the motel and that area. I'm thinking of having a stop here where the original village was, in this little area here, if it will fit. If not, we might need to move a few things. And also having a stop about here, maybe here. So from the motel way over to the other side. So this is going to be a big job. I'm looking forward to it, but it is going to be quite a big job. Probably not going to be finished in this episode, but something that we can work on over the next couple of weeks. This area up here, I don't know if I've shown you yet. So we've got the library and the town hall and the bank, and we've got this area that I terraformed quite some time ago. I put the cobblestone walls in, but I've just been playing around with little houses. So this was going to be sort of an upmarket area, but little upmarket area. And I don't know why, but I decided to play around with pink. This was going to be like a cherry blossom area, and I thought the pink would look quite nice. So we've got the granite and the cherry wood trim on the houses and pink glass. It is very pink. And I do have the floor plan set out for another row of these little houses. But look at all the villagers hanging around up here. This is weird. They find the stairs, they climb up the stairs and they just hang around. I'm thinking this area might be a big shopping centre because it's a nice big flat area. I might need to get rid of some more of the stonework, but big shopping centre possibly with lots of shops and retail outlets. So that's a possibility for this area, which means having a subway start here would make sense. So this is going to be the beginning of the subway. And I've done some trials in my test world and I've got some measurements and some materials. It's going to be a lot of stone. It's going to be a lot of stone brick underneath, but that's okay. So if this is going to be the start of our subway system, we need the staircase, the stairway down to the subway. And I figured that's what we could make now, but I really want to get my bearings. So I'm just going to dig down and work out, or get the tunnel started. Let's put it like that. We'll get the tunnel started and then the staircase will line up with it, because there's nothing worse than making a staircase that doesn't line up with the tunnel. So let's do that first. need a beacon. And I do have one still over near the zoo. So I might grab that and bring it over and plonk it somewhere close by. And I think the beacon in the water feature that we can see behind me is haste as well. So we need haste. This is going to be a big job, and it's going to be even slower if we don't have haste. So I'm going to go get that other beacon. I'll be right back. There we are. There's the beacon. That should make digging the tunnel for the subway a lot quicker, and hopefully we'll get it done. Down the other end of the city, the beacon doesn't quite reach, so once I've done this half, I'll just move that beacon down further. So now we can get back to it. So these 2 blocks are going to be the middle of the track. So we're going to have 2 tracks, one going and one coming down this way. So let's get this dug out. This is what we've got at the moment, just a big square, and I'm hoping my staircase out of here is still intact. So this is going to be our first subway station, and it's going to have 2 rails, so one heading towards the city, one coming back from the city, and platforms. So now I just need to line it and start the rails. We are going to also have the system like the rail car where the mine carts are spat out and taken back into the system, and that's going to go behind this wall here, which is why I wasn't too fussed that it had a couple of holes in it. So we'll put that in, but I want to get this station built first. So this is going to be the middle platform. So I want to get this into place because everything else is built around where the 2 tracks go. There we go. So that's the middle platform. So we're going to have a track here and a track here, and the stairs coming down. So the stairs are going to be here somewhere going up, and up above we're going to have the little enclosure that is the entrance to the subway stairs. Now, I've never been on a subway before, I don't think. So if I use the wrong terminology, please correct me in the comments below. So there's the 2 tracks. So we're going to have the minecart going along here. We've got platform on both sides and in the middle. And yes, there's going to be a lot of stone brick, but it's going to be broken up a little bit, so it's not just going to be a big box of stone brick, because we want this to look nice. We want the public to be using the system and moving around the city from one end to the other. So lots of stone brick, but what we also need is bone block. I've decided that the walls of the station are going to be bone block, and it's going to give it a nice clean look up to a certain point. So probably not all the way to the roof, but definitely halfway up the wall. Something like that. And what I also need are sea lanterns. So I've got some more resource gathering to do. So sea lanterns are what we're going to use to light this place up. Because it's going to be underground, as subways are, we need to make sure that it is well lit, so no oogly booglies spawn down in the subway and possibly attack the villagers. Okay, so what we're going to have two arches on either side of this middle platform. So it's not going to be just a big square. I will have some filling in to do, but that's okay. Just to get started, so we're going to have the start of the arch just above the sea lanterns, and there's going to be another row of stairs forming the sides of the arch. So this is the center of the arch on this left side. So now I'm just filling in above the subway station because it is down right underneath ground level. I figured it would be easier just to dig out a big square, build the subway station, and then fill it back in. The subway station is built. We come down the temporary stairs, and here's the subway station. Still got a lot of my scaffolding and bits and pieces in it. Not 100% finished, but you get the idea. So we've got the two vaults, the two arches above the two platforms on the outside. We've got a small platform in the middle, and this is where the minecart is going to go. So this is going to be the track. So once I've got the station finished, we can dig the track all the way through, which will be, I reckon that will be a fun job, putting the track through. So it's going to have a tunnel that is going to be like an egg shape. Like that. If you imagine this covered up with stone brick, this is going to be the tunnel. So lots of digging, but it should be quite enjoyable. I like digging, especially with a beacon giving us a helping hand. And it'll be interesting if you have a look on the mini map. We do have an underground river coming up, but I'm hoping we'll be able to dig through and block off the water and continue the tunnels for the city's first underground transport system. But I'll get this finished first, and then we can enjoy digging the two tunnels out. So we've got the entrance to the subway station. So we've got the stairs going down and opening up into the subway. Still not quite finished. I still need to do the two walls and get the tunnels started. I have started digging out this area for the minecart dispenser and collector machine. So this is going to be where that machine is, and we might end up blocking off a lot of this, so bringing it in nice and tight, because the idea is that villagers don't go in this section. So like we've got outside, we could just have it a one high gap so the minecart can go through and get destroyed and then put back in the system, and the same on this side. Just a little one square. Something like that. Take those stairs out. So the minecarts go in and the minecarts come out. Now we are going to need an access doorway. So I'm thinking that might be over here. So a maintenance officer has got access to back behind the scenes. So we'll just dig this out a bit more and light it up, and then we'll start putting in the machine and fixing up those walls. The subway, the first subway station is finished. Well, the entrance is there, but the little building above it is still needing to be built. But let's go down and have a look. So we've gone for bone and sea lanterns as an extra material, and it opens up into this. It's not very decorative, it's not overly flash, but I do like the little touches that the stone brick wall give. So it looks like a bit of grating above the middle platform here, with the sea lanterns behind it giving some light. So I do like that. It gives a very industrial feel to it. So we've got the two tunnels leading off, and the wall here, it does look very plain. I'm just wondering what we could do to make it look a little bit like this. I'm just wondering whether I don't have any steps with me. I'm just going to go get some steps, because I do like that look of the tunnels going off into the distance. I'm just wondering if we try and duplicate that on this wall. So if we put that, I have had the worst day today for putting stairs up the wrong way. So if we do this on both sides, and the stairs, let's see if I can get them right. Excellent. But because we could see behind, I was thinking maybe behind we put the stone brick blocks with that one. Oh, I like that. That looks a lot nicer. Yes, very nice. That looks a lot more symmetrical now. Yes, I do like that. So this is the first subway station underground. We just need to do the little building above it now. And the footprint was a lot smaller than the one that I built in my test world. It is very close to this stairwell, but that's what I was wanting. So it might encourage the villagers to come down from the cherry blossom area and ride the subway. So let's build the subway building. There's the little subway entrance building. From what I've seen in movies and TV shows from cities with subway, it is just a little hut, for want of a better word. So we've just gone for a very, very similar feel to the post office and the rail car building, but this time I've used bone. Now there are some blocks that I need to... It's just these two dirt blocks that I need to cover up, and I might just put an apron around it just to make it look grounded. There we go. Subway. Very exciting. So now if we work our way down into the subway, it's done. The first subway station for the city is finished. I just need to put the door here and the machine, but it's no good getting the machine up and running until we've got the tunnel, or the tunnels really. So I'm going to go into the city and get the coordinates for the next station, and we'll start digging the tunnels. Very, very exciting for the city to have another public form of transport. So I'm thinking the next little subway entrance will be here. I'll just remove that light, and it will mean it's going to be a different angle. So we'll have the entrance coming off the main road here and the stairs going down and around. If you remember, the 1, 4, 5, 6 is the middle. So these two, was it these two or these two? I can't remember. But two of these blocks is that middle platform. So the two subway tracks will be underneath on either side of this. So the doorway is going to be here, the stairs will go down, and this will be the second subway stop. So 9 minus 1912. 1912. So now we could go back and dig the tunnels along to that number. So minus 1912. So the two tunnels are dug and they meet up roughly underneath the original centre of the village. So where I'm standing is hopefully underneath that little block of land in the centre of the village. So now we can simply line the tunnels. I'm thinking of lining them with the stone brick, just to make it a little bit nicer. That might take a while though. And then we're going to dig out the second subway stop. Yes, I had to practice saying that. getting there bit by bit. The cherry blossom station is complete, and the tunnel network that goes to the centre of the city is done. Now we just need to work on the central station, so the station in the middle of the city. So let's go down and I'll show you the progress. So here we are, and you can see the two tunnels are pretty much identical. And it's got the same sort of lighting, so it's got the sea lanterns with the stone brick wall like a grid or a grate above it, lighting it up. So there's nothing, this isn't spawnable. If I do F8, there's plenty of light on that middle block because the stairs aren't spawnable, obviously. So this goes all the way down to the central station, which is in the centre of the city. And I've just dug a little bit out. Now we need to dig this out, line it, and then make the stairway above. I've dug the staircase down. Oh no. Back up. Up you go. It's not open for business yet. As I was saying, I've dug the staircase down, and this staircase is a little bit longer than the other staircase because the ground is higher here. And this is the start of the central station. This is the progress so far. We've got the cherry blossom station and half of the tracks finished up to the central station. We've got the staircase up, which is quite a big staircase, and we've got the opening, which comes out nicely alongside the main thoroughfare, which is good. I might build the building over it just so it looks more finished. So let's get that done now. Central station entrance is finished. There's still quite a bit to do underground, but above ground it's built. And I've been thinking about these little entrance huts over the last day or so, and I've decided I don't like them. So I think I'm going to have to redesign them and make them a little bit more standing out, because they're very small at the moment, and if you are someone new to the city and you're looking for the subway, you probably can't see it for the taller buildings around the place. So I think I need to redesign them. So I'll be playing around off camera. That's something that we can look at next episode, but I think for this episode, I think we'll call it. We've had quite a bit of digging and moving beacons and fighting off zombies. Actually, I found it really hard digging under the town because you lose track of time, and before you know it, you've lost a heap of villagers. But that's part of the game. So that's it for the episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing the subway system up in action. I've been thinking I might need to put chunk loaders in, because if we run a minecart from one side of the city to the other, it's going to despawn. So that's something else we get to learn about. Chunk loaders, which I'm looking forward to. But apart from that, if you enjoyed the content and you're looking forward to seeing more, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I'm No Spring Chicken. This is Urban Sprawl, and I will see you next time. Bye. What?